Hey guys, welcome to my channel Among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and I'm a homeschooling mom of 5 kiddos, 4 of them that I homeschool. And in today's video we are going to be talking about my oldest, who is now a sophomore. I actually just filmed a video, and towards the end of that video it started getting loud outside, and unfortunately I think for the entirety of this video it's going to be loud outside. We live kind of in the country and the property next to us, they run like a business out of it, and towards the end of the day they get really loud, which is really obnoxious, and I'm so sorry if you guys hear it. I really hope that you can't. I have this like mic up here, but I've never had that happen before while I've been filming, so I guess we'll see how it goes. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys all of the books that my son is going to be reading. And if I can remember, I think I have them grouped out properly. And I'll let you guys know what subject those particular books are for. And these are all books that are for term 1. Some of these books, like this one here, he's been reading for, this is going to be the 3rd school year. So this is a book that they read over the course of like middle school and high school with Charlotte Mason. And so that's something you'll see, is like you'll see all of these books. Like, it doesn't seem like a whole lot right now because I have just term 1, but if I were to put them all together, it seems like a ton of books. But some of them are read over the course of the entire school year, some of them are read over the course of multiple school years, and some of them are read just over the course of one term. But none of them are read in a matter of a week or two, which was my biggest problem with classical conversations. Is I did not like how quickly books were having to be read and then turning out a paper. And my son just got into this point of where every time he was reading a book, it was specifically reading for the paper, so he wouldn't even read the whole book. He was just trying to find his problems so that he can find his proofs and all of that. So I really like the multiple books but slower reading, and really taking the time to digest and chew on these ideas and really understand what you're reading. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my 10th graders books for term 1. And like I mentioned before, we are, in regards to our Charlotte Mason approach, we do kind of a combination between the Alveary and Ambleside online. And then, you know, my kids also do use textbooks for other subjects. But first and foremost, for term 1, I think this is used only for term 1. And guys, look at this. $1. I found this book at our book barn, priced at $1 for whoever bought it somewhere else. It was priced at $1 for them, and then when it goes to, whenever those people donate books to the book barn, it's donation based. So, and it's in such great condition. I already did a haul, and I talked all about like searching your local library book sales for major bargains on great books. But anyways, this is Longitude by Deva Sobel, and this is going to go for his geography subject with the Alveary. And then I have his term 1 poetry, and it's Word Made Fresh, an invitation to poetry for the church. This is a newer book, so I actually am going to skim through and maybe read a few poems, but this is not one that I had read myself or even heard about before this year with Alveary. So this will be one that he goes through, and if it's, you know, pretty good, maybe we'll do it as a family. So far, the last couple years for family, we've been doing poetry from anthology poetries that we get from Ambleside. They sell some anthologies on Amazon, and it's different. It's a variety of poets. They have different volumes. That's really good. Okay, so let's go into literature. And I know for sure these two are in term 1. Actually, one of them I think is throughout the whole year, and the other one's throughout 2 of the terms. And these are from Ambleside. So the first one is Les Mis. He's got this book this year, which when he judges everything by size. So yeah. And then he's got, this is another one that he's reading with Ambleside, and this is Uncle Tom's Cabin. And then he's got two that he's doing with the Alveary. And kind of the reason why I did this is because the Alveary had literature. Initially going into 10th grade, I was going to switch him over to only Alveary literature. But a few of the books that they had planned, he'd already read. So then I just grabbed a couple off of Ambleside's list and put them in place of those books, if that makes sense. But he hadn't yet read The Scarlet Letter, so he's got that this year, as well as A Tale of Two Cities. He's got that one. Okay, so for his citizenship, with Charlotte Mason, under the citizenship subject, you will find government, economics, and like ethics. And so he is been going through, so he'll just keep trucking along in the Ourselves by Charlotte Mason. And then we have Think by John Piper. This is coming from the Alveary. And then this one is on the Ambleside's list, and it's One Race, One Blood. I was going to skip any citizenship from Alveary, but we have the young One Race, One Blood for kids that we read like back when we first started homeschooling. So when I saw that this was in there, I went ahead and picked it up for him. And also because it just really goes with the time period that he's in this year. Okay, so his time period for world and U.S. history runs between 16, let's see, for U.S. history is 1850 to 1902. So there's three different streams of history that they do with the Alveary. It's U.S., world, and ancient. So for U.S., they're going to be 1815 to about 1902. Okay, so they're for history, the history time period that he's in for U.S., it's about 1800 to 1902, and he's doing a combination of Ambleside and Alveary. So the Alveary is 1650 to 1800, and where he's at in Ambleside is early 1800s to about 1901, 1902. And then we add in a stream of ancient, and they also follow that same time period for world history. So this just fit in with some of the other things, and you'll see how that all works in. Okay, so I have the stack of history books right here. We'll go through those first. And one of the reasons why I really was interested in some of the books that they were using in the Alveary, there's a couple of them that, side note, there are a few books that I don't have because I have them on Audible. And I know one of them for sure for history is the Acadian Driftwood. I will add like a picture of what that book looks like here for you guys. And then I am actually going to be, one of the books that he is supposed to be reading for Alveary for ancient history, I'm not going to get because some of their ancient history books are not living books. They're very dry and more like resourcey type of books, and I really don't want to spend the amount of money that it costs on a book like that. So we're just going to skip it and do some other books. So one ancient history book that he has that he will be doing is the Parthenon, but that is on Audible. The other one that they have is like Ancient Empires or something of the sort. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to see what I already have that he has not read. So we have the story of the Greeks, the story of the Romans, and some of those other books that he missed out on in middle school that my daughter has read, and she's done with those, and my other daughter's not in them yet. So they would be easy enough reads that I can just add them on, and he can like basically add them on as a free read if I choose. But I think with how heavy some of this other stuff is, I think we're just going to, you know, read the Parthenon and call ancient history good. One of the books from Ambleside that he's been reading, actually, he's going into the fourth book, and this is kind of why I stuck with some of their picks for history, is because he's in the middle of them. So the first one would be A History of the English-Speaking Peoples by Winston Churchill, and this is volume 4, The Great Democracies. He's already read the first 3, so it only made sense to me for him to go through and go ahead and finish the series and read book 4. Highly recommend this series, For World History. If my kids can find reading them a little bit boring at times, I listened to these on Audible, and the storytelling is really great. It doesn't read as bland. When you listen to it, it doesn't come off as bland as maybe as when you read it, as my children find it. However, my son said the first book, which was Birth of Britain, was the hardest one, and he's kind of enjoyed them since then. So he's actually not dreading this one like he would have dreaded, like I think it was The New World was the second one, maybe. But Birth of Britain for both of my kids was pretty tough. However, I listened to that one on Audible and it was great. So I think that if your kids may not, if they end up struggling through the Winston Churchill, maybe start off on the Audible and then help them to read it themselves in a more storytelling way, and then they'll enjoy it more. I wish I would have thought of that, but I didn't. I only got on Audible so that I could know what my kids were reading. I didn't have the time to read it at the time when I initially gave it to him. So yeah, these you can find, I have found them, I think you mostly have to find them used. I've always been able to find them locally. Every time I've needed the next book, I've been able to find it. So I don't really know what the price looks like on Amazon, but they're pretty easy to come by used if you are on the hunt for this series. Okay, so another one that he's in the middle of, and I don't know that he will ever get through this whole book because it's only been sections of it, which is totally fine. And this is A History of the American People by Paul Johnson. He did enjoy the chapters that he's read out of here so far. So yeah, that's one of them. And then another one that he's already in the middle of, and he just reads, I don't even know that he'll finish it. This might go until next year, to be honest. But this is the book on John Adams by David McCulloch. So there's that book. So those are the 3. This book is more of like a world history book because Winston Churchill really does go into things that are happening all over. And then, as you would imagine, the other 2 are very U.S. history based. Okay. So the other things that we have for U.S. history, because like I said, actually both Alveary and Ambleside are in an emphasis of, the American time period during slavery. So we have quite a few, well, not quite a few, we have a few of those that we're going through. This book was quite hard to come by, and it is Fort Moe's Colonial America's Black Fortress of Freedom. And I ended up finding it, you see how thin this book is, and it was going for like $70, $50. Every time it would go on sale, it was astronomical. Finally, it popped up on Thrift Books at $20, and I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways because I was like, that's the best I've seen it. And I'm glad I did because there's also included in here a picture of, so like whoever had it got a photograph. So I'm excited for him to see that and for him to go through this book. This is not something that I remember studying, so I might read this. I'm going to read this first and then hand it off to him. So yeah, there's that one. And then we have Booker T. Washington's Up From Slavery. We have 12 Years of Slave. And then we have this one, actually, all 3 of these were from Ambleside's list, I believe. And then we have Arguing About Slavery, John Quincy Adams and the Great Battle in the United States Congress. So I wasn't going to choose this book, but because he's already reading this, I decided to go ahead and do it. It's another perspective on John Adams. So, and it's, in the time period and on the list. So they go great together. Okay, I need a drink. If you watch my videos and you do YouTube, does your throat get so itchy when you're filming? Like, sometimes I just can't take it. Okay, so as for science, he has been going through this book for, oh my gosh, I think this is I think they start this in 7th grade. So 3 years, I think. It's the Great Astronomer's Book. So if you don't know, before we started homeschooling Charlotte Mason and kind of doing all of these books, we homeschooled with Classical Conversations. So he did that for 7th grade and 8th grade. Halfway through 8th grade, I had kind of started shifting from the CC only method and being more curious about Charlotte Mason. And halfway through our school year, I switched us over. Well, I added in parts of Ambleside. And so for him, I decided to go with the combination years of 7, 8, 8, 9. So when he was finishing out his 8th grade year, he did the light schedule of the 7, 8 year. And then last year he did the 8, 9. And so this year he's in the full year 10. So my daughter, however, she's done year 6, she'll do year 7, 8, and so on. So I know she definitely started this in year 7. So this, and he's going into year 10 and we're still reading it. So this goes for 3 to 4 years. And they're not long, but in Classical Conversations in 8th grade, he had already done most of the astronomers. So this was, and I still had him go and read it. Well, not most, he had done NCC, he had already read through or like read about and did projects on quite a few of the astronomers that are in here. So he skipped those, and then we were able to get him caught up on the ones that he hadn't learned about yet. So yeah, and my daughter, she obviously is not NCC, so this has been a great way to still get her to learn the astronomers. So that will be on her list as well. So they're both reading through that one. He started this book last year and he will finish it. I think he finishes it this year. And it's The Sea Around Us by Rachel Carson. And then these are actually not on either list, but like I said, I like to add in some living books to science. So for him, I got a couple of books for him to read, and I might pick one more and just have one per term. Another book that I have that I got for him last year that he didn't make it through is, let me go grab it really quick. Okay, so one of the books that I got for him last year that I kind of put it in the cabinet and forgot about it and never got around to it. But it kind of goes with biology, health, the environment, is the folks, This Ain't Normal by Joel Salatin. I absolutely love Joel Salatin. I came across him back in 2012 on Food Inc. And I've kind of followed him since then. He has a lot of really good books, really big in regenerative agriculture. So I wanted to add this to my son's science last year because of that. It's, folks, this ain't normal. A farmer's advice for happier hens, healthier people, and a better world. So very, in my opinion, this went really well with his biology and advanced nature study, but he didn't get around to it. So I might add this into term 1. And then do these more chemistry-based books for terms 2 and 3. But these are just 2 books that I have gotten for him so far to add on with chemistry. One is How the Overuse of Antibiotics is Fueling Our Modern Plagues, Missing Microbes. And then I have The Disappearing Spoon and Other True Tales of Madness, Love, and the History of the World from the Periodic Table of the Elements. So there's that one. But yes, I am showing you guys these because I'm just not, they're for science. I'm just not sure. He's definitely going to read these 2. I might split these both up throughout the whole year instead of doing one per term. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do or how I'm going to add these in, but that's how I end up with decision fatigue. That's why it's too hard for me to, like, you know, do the salad bar approach. I really like for someone to tell me just something, but I wanted to add in books for chemistry. So there's those, and I might add in something else. We'll see. Okay, last but not least is are some Bible or like biography. This is all part of his Bible studies, and this is The Cost of Discipleship, and this is Bonhoeffer's book. And then he has Friendship with God, A Path to Deeper Fellowship with the Father, Son, and Spirit. This one is on the Ambleside list, and then these other two are Alveary. And so then he has Turning Points in American Church History, How Pivotal Events Shaped a Nation and Faith. And then, of course, he's going to have his Bible. One of the things that I love about Alveary Bible is they're just reading straight through the Bible. Over the course of high school, he will go through the whole Bible. So, yeah, these are all of the books for term 1. I know I was kind of all over the place, so if you guys have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate and feel free to ask them in the comments. If there's something else that you guys would like to see from me as far as content, let me know that down in the comments as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!